Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'd like to take a look at the Many Gardevoirs of GLC. So what is GLC, for those of you who don't know, very quickly? It is a single prize only, no Roblox format, so the likes of V-Stars, EX Pokemon, GXs, tag teams, etc. are not allowed. Also includes Radiants, which is key to note because, the majority of Roblox Pokemon are indeed multi-prize Pokemon, but Radiants do have a Roblox and therefore count. It is also singleton, except for basic energy, and you're only allowed one type per deck. So in the case of Gardevoir, if you happen to be playing a fairy deck, for example, with Fairy Gardevoir, you sadly cannot play the really good Kirlia or the really good Ralts. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame in that sense, but yeah, only one type allowed per deck. But speaking of Ralts, we've got some noticeable ones here. Unfortunately, the art rare is just not really as good as Memory Skip or Teleportation Burst, but to be honest, at the end of the day, it is just an evolving basic with 70 HP. Also got quite high resistance, which is quite nice to fighting types. So honestly, I don't think you're losing out on too much if you want to play like the Psyshot one. But for argument's sake, Teleportation Burst and Memory Skip are, just better attacks really for Psychic Rolls. Also, some noticeable Kirlia. The one with Refinement is absolutely the best one, hands down. It's not really close. However, again, the Art Rare and the Shining Rare as well, actually, like the Shiny form, are both, of course, really pretty, lovely cards. So, wouldn't hold anything against you if you wanted to run them. And I just thought they were worth mentioning in case you didn't know they existed. But yeah, Refinement is certainly the best Kirlia. So, it's a bit of a shame for fairy types, really. But yeah, Psychic, Kirlia, and Ralts get all the love. But the first Gardevoir we can take a look at here is actually pretty strong. It's from the Black and White expansion Next Destinies, and I believe the other one is Dark Explorers, but don't quote me on that one. But yeah, both of them have the same ability, Psychic Mirage, which says each basic psychic energy attached to your psychic Pokemon provides 2 psychic energy. However, you can't apply more than one Psychic Mirage ability at a time, but Shockwave, you can't play more than one Gardevoir in your deck full stop, so it's absolutely fine, but it is a fantastic ability. I will say that. I think it's become slightly weaker in recent memory just because we've had things like Zartu to help power up energy. And, like Naganadel, I guess, even though that only charges to itself, then you have to use like Energy Switch, which is really awkward. But, like this Gardevoir is still pretty good. And it's nice to see that, like the OG Gardevoir, I guess, in GLC, like the first one from the Black and White era, still holds up quite nicely. Now, the attack is abysmal. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. For a whopping 4 energy, so it would be 2, to be fair, with Psychic Mirage, but it only does 60 damage and isn't affected by weakness or resistance. So, not being able to, well, getting through resistance is cool and everything, but it's not a worthy trade off to not be able to hit for weakness. So, yeah, it's a bit meh in that opinion, but yeah, Psychic Mirage, very strong ability though. Then we have a one from Legendary Treasures. This one's okay, actually. Like, Psybeam is a whatever move for sure. However, Eternal Radiance says move all damage counters from this Pokemon to the defending Pokemon. This Pokemon can't use Eternal Radiance during your next turn. So, with only 120 HP, you might not survive a hit full stop. However, if you can work out a way where you move all the damage counters, maybe with things like Gengar and such, Alakazam. I think there's an Alakazam that can move damage counters on your side of the field. But yeah, if you can move loads of damage to Gardevoir, this can do like 110 damage, which is it's all right. But to truth be told, the more I think about it, yeah, this card isn't great, but it gets points for being at least having some flavor, I guess. It's a flavorsome card, but yeah, it's very fragile for what it's trying to do. The next one is a fairy type one, which is really cool. Sadly, this one is pretty abysmal though. It does have the ability Bright Heal, which allows you to heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon, which can be quite nice against spread decks. But then Telekinesis comes in here and does 50 damage snipe to one of your opponent's Pokemon for 3 energy, which is a tad expensive. So unless you're playing like a weird fairy stall deck where you're just trying to out tank your opponent, but the thing is, healing 20 damage in this day and age, even in GLC, is a bit rough. There's just so many one-hit KO moves and big attacks. So, yeah, Bright Teal, sadly, not really going to do it, but I will give major props to the artwork, which I think is gorgeous. So, it's a cool card, but yeah, just kind of outclassed a wee bit nowadays. Then we have a really, really good one. Now, this one is definitely the best fairy type one from the set Sun and Moon Lost Thunder. Has 2 really good attacks, Brilliant Search, allows you to search your deck for 3 cards, which is fantastic. And then Sensitive Ray does 70 damage for a fairy double colorless. But if you played a support card from your hand during this turn, then this attack does 90 more damage. So that's what, 160 damage-ish? Lovely, it's fantastic. It's obviously like not super great in comparison to things like, I guess, what's a more recent example of something that's pretty good? Like Torterra, I guess, that does 50 damage for each of your grass Pokemon in play, evolution-wise. But, I still think this is a pretty good card, Fairy-type wise, and certainly one of the best Stage 2s that Fairies have at their disposal. So, definitely gets a big thumbs up for me. Seems like a pretty fun card overall. Then we have the one from Sword and Shield, Chilling Rain, and Astral Radiance. So I've not included the third artwork here, but or actually no, it's just Chilling Rain, Astral Radiance. My bad. It wasn't in Sword and Shield base set. My bad. But yeah, this one with Shiny Arcana, very strong. Also, Brainwave is just a really good attack. So, it's definitely a natural partner for Xatu, and Shiny Arcana is like built-in energy acceleration / draw power. If you want to play this over Mirage, it's probably a bit better. It's also kind of tankier and has a much better attack. So, yeah, definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Seems like a very, very solid card, and definitely one that I would keep an eye on for sure. But then, also, before we get going, there's also a item in the set Chilling Rain called Fog Crystal, which allows you to search your deck for a basic Psychic Pokemon or basic Psychic Energy, just in case you're looking to pick up things from the same set. But yeah, then we have a one from Silver Tempest. Now, the saving grace in this card is that it has an amazing art rare. Like, it is fantastic. Personally, I do prefer the Wally art rare. I think that's Wally? Yeah, is that Wally? I think it is. Oh, I'm gonna have to double check that now, actually. But yeah, this Gardevoir is lovely with Diantha. Pretty sure that's Diantha. But yeah, it has the ability Refinement, which, yes, is indeed the same ability on the Kirlia that we looked at earlier. So, to be honest, I do think this one's definitely on the weaker side of things. It's not a bad card because it is effectively a draw engine on 150 HP Pokemon. But at the same time, I think this one's just way better for doing the same thing, really, at that point. So, yeah, I'd play like the Refinement Kirlia and then the Shiny Arcana Gardevoir personally. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But yeah, thank you for watching. I do a new set review for GLC with each new release, so do subscribe if you're interested in being updated. The most recent one we did was Surging Sparks. This is now a series to stay, of course, so let me know which Pokemon you'd like to see. I've just passed 20 Pokemon in the series, so yeah, quite a lot of fun. There is a list, but getting through them, and a playlist has been made. So there is like a couple of suggestions, like Kyurem. I know that Gen 1 Fossils was also on the list, so yeah, just getting through them. If you want to dive into the competitive side, however, Omnipoke and the format creator Tricky Jim have both done fantastic videos and guides for each type, which is something I'll repeat at the end of each of these videos. But yeah, thank you for watching. It's been Power. Let me know what you think about Gardevoir down below. And yeah, thank you for watching.